That was new.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
That was crazy. It's never told me that before.
Me neither.
Trying to make sure you weren't like breaching my security or
I
something.
guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody's gonna be like, what did they hear? What did they hear?
Guess we can't. Guess we have to talk about other things now, guys. We're being recorded. I'm just joking. All right. So we have quite a few announcements tonight. Honestly, I mean, not a ton, but I did want to go over like the family call recap because I was not on because we were at the U.S. Gymnastics Championship. So I missed the family call. So I had to rewatch it today. So I jotted down some notes, and just in case you guys missed it, they talked about fall conference. I don't know who Jay Shetty is, but I'm sure somebody on here does. I was gonna say he did not sound familiar to me, or they did not sound familiar to me. But they announced that they were the conference speaker. Of course, we're keeping the $100 bonus for the LCs the entire month. Okay, so 5 LCs in 1 week. Remember, it starts over every week. They're paid out just like fast start bonuses, but you can actually be eligible for one, or you're eligible for one every single month this month. Every single week this month. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I have not been drinking, but it sounds like it. So what I was thinking, and I wrote this down, is y'all, we need to be advertising the heck out of this to newbies and to potentials, because they could come in and make $300, like $100 a week, boom, 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 before they ever even see a commissions check. And a lot of the people that we're talking to, they're worried about like making their money back. Okay, we have $49 codes. They can make their money back plus $50 in their first week. And a lot of them too are looking for quick money. All right. So we need to be advertising the heck out of this. And this is just, did y'all hear my family fighting? Sorry, I can't.
That's not even including selling their 7 samples.
Right. Not including their samples, not including their product credit, not including if they sign up a distributor, because we do have codes going, you know what I'm saying? Like they could get a conference, they could get a conference plus pass. Maybe you have a code that you're willing to give to them. You know, if they, I mean, there's so many opportunities right now, but I just love that, because again, you know, people's first, do you know 5 people? Okay. Our goal is going to be, you know, to get you 5 customers in your first week. We're going to make $49, or it's going to sign you up for $49. You're going to make 100 in your first week, money back plus $50, you know, and then we're going to also along the way sell the samples. I mean, so advertise the heck out of this for your newbies and your potentials. Okay. If you are not, talk about it. Maybe even use that to seal the deal with some of those potentials that are dragging their feet. You know, hey, this is only good for this month. We really don't know if it's coming back, which is totally true. I mean, we really don't. Fall Plus Pass gets 5 discounted codes in June, July, and August. If you've already purchased, Christina asked when they're going to hit your account. I don't know. I would imagine in the next 48 hours, since they announced it last night. I would imagine you should see them in your eSuite then. Or you can buy, if you didn't buy Fall Plus, you can buy Summer Plus. Oh my gosh, that's hard to say. Plus Pass and get them. I'm like, that's kind of tricky. Say that 5 times fast. Yep, here comes child number 1. But this is the one that can open the door. Every new DT signed in June, if they add the triple threat, when they sign up, they get the $49 code, but it does not use one of your codes. What, Emerson? What? Hold on, y'all. She wants to give me a hug and a kiss. Sorry. Come on. And then you have to go to bed. All right. So if they add that on, then it doesn't use one of your codes, but they still get the discount.
Hi.
You are so adorable.
What's tomorrow?
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
3. You're going to be 3?
Are you going to be this many?
What kind of party are you going to have?
Unicorn.
She's so excited. Look at her.
All right. Now you got to go to bed.
Okay. I've got to get Pomeranian kisses.
Okay, go give Pomeranian a kiss.
All right, Emery.
Say good night.
Good night.
So cute.
Yeah, she really can be very sweet, very cute, but she can also be very mean. Palmer has a goose egg on her head right here.
She's a Sour Patch Kid.
Because she threw a toy at her and has pretty good aim, apparently. All right, so every DDT sign in June, triple threat, we got that one. You get to keep the code. Okay. 2 more reminders really quickly. It's summer, my kids are up late. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? Go to bed, buddy, Betty. Love you. All right. I'm like, are y'all's kids still up? No? Yeah, okay, good. I feel better about that. And I'm like, what? Ryder can stay with me. He's fine. Our Zoom. This is a perfect lead in to our Zoom topic tonight. Yeah, like strong Rayleigh vibes. Yeah. Oh
yeah,
all right.
mine's
Usually don't
getting
see
out
it
of the
in
shower.
person.
She'll make an appearance in just a minute, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all seen the dog and both children. Like you basically my whole household.
Well,
All right.
Ryder heard my voice. He still wants to come home.
Yeah, Ryder's he's like, I don't want to go with you two. You're crazy. I'm staying in here with her. Okay, so another reminder, I told about PAT payments today. We're missing, I don't want to say missing a lot of people. The number is pretty low for 1 weekend. So please remind your team that to pay if they haven't. Obviously, if they joined in May or are new in June, they don't have to pay. I've had a couple questions. That's always, you can let them out. Just let them out. Just go. Good night, sweet pea. So hat payment reminder. And then the last thing is, you guys, and this is, I don't have a whole lot of them. Y'all are all like, it's fine. My kids are crazy too. Like, so I don't have a whole lot of information about this. I was kind of waiting to hear, and then Gina called today. So obviously the fall conference is in September, right? We're trying to get something going. But I think it's gotten to the point where everybody's just going to kind of do their own thing. Like some people are going to Florida, some people are staying where they're at. Some people are going to Galveston again. I know like Jamie, just throwing this out there. Jamie is in the same boat as I am, is where she really can't travel that weekend. Palmer's gymnastics season starts up in August. And so until I have that schedule, like, I don't know if I can travel that weekend. So we were looking at doing something here in DFW and getting houses. Before we go too deep into planning, we need to know who would be willing to travel. Like, first of all, DFW is easy to get a flight into, right? Because we have 2 airports. But we need to know who would be willing to like travel, to come, to do that. So I'm going to put a poll up in the team page tonight. And if you guys could just vote on it in the next like 24 to 48 hours, that would kind of help us get an idea. There's also like Sabrina, like there's a lot of us in DFW. So depending on what the numbers look like, if Palmer doesn't have a gymnastics meet, I'm willing to open my house up to people. If she has a meet, I obviously can't kick my family out because they'll be here. But if she doesn't, then I'm more than willing to kick them out and, they go to grandparents. It's the 21st through the 23rd, Elena, right? I'm like, I have literally 3 dates in September. I have stuff going. So let me double check that on my calendar, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, I'm sorry. 24th through the 24th through 26th. I'm sorry. So it's that last weekend in September. So, and I'll put all this on the team page. Basically the poll is going to be like, who would be willing to travel to DFW and, like go in with the house. If you live here in DFW, obviously you don't want to go in on the house. Totally understand. We just, before we go too deep into this, need to figure it out. The other thing I want you guys to think about is it Labor Day weekend? It's not Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend is the first Monday in September. This is the last weekend in September.
Okay, I was like, it's Labor Day? That was crazy. Okay. So the other thing I want you guys to think about is that they are planning on doing a conference in January like normal, okay? And, hopefully that is, like Gina and I were talking today, hopefully that is back like normal. We're in Emily Arena, like in Florida, doing our normal thing. And so that's the other thing that I think a lot of other teams are kind of trying to take into consideration is everybody going to be able to travel, in September and again in January? And again, like we're all happy to orchestrate it and get something. We just need to make sure that we're not stuck, with like a Airbnb for 18 and like there's 8 of us, right? So again, once I have Palmer's schedule, which I think I should have by the end of June, I can also say like, hey, I'm willing to, offer at my house if that's an option. So Okay, so that's the thing about conference. Again, when you see that poll, y'all just go drop me a quick vote, please. All right, and then so what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna talk about just kind of pivoting for summer and why it's a topic. But what I want to let you guys know is the leaders met like a week and a half ago or so, and what we're doing this summer is, I mean, I'm not creative or catchy. But we're going to call it just like a back to basics summer series, okay? Where we're going to be hitting the very most basic things that we do every day. So think about like your KPI list or your non-negotiables, and we're going through that. So, posting, using stories, messaging, following up, getting ELC orders. I'm like, I could look at my calendar. I have them planned out through, but and it was starting, Jamie we were talking. That's why I love meeting with you guys, because I kind of was like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do posting. And Jamie was like, yeah, and we should do this. And it kind of rolled into this whole, like, basically we're going to go through our non-negotiables and just kind of have a Zoom about each of them, and hear from different people, learn from different people. And I mean, the bottom line is how many How to Enroll Distributor Zooms have y'all watched? One? No, we've watched 100. Okay. So, just kind of continuing education. So we're also going to have one guest per month. I've already got them scheduled. Next week, we'll have somebody coming on talking about posting. In August, in July, we have Tamika Davis. I'm super excited about her because she is like, just everywhere in corporate, just with all the great tools and tips right now. I mean, she's just amazing. And then in August, we have Kim Chpak. So we've got some pretty good things coming up. We'll have a guest each month. And then, like I said, in between, we're just going to be hitting those. I'm sorry, I'm going to shut this door before my kids come back in here. Okay. We're just like real professional tonight. All the distractions. All right. So, pivoting for summer. All right, you guys, oh my God, here comes another one. What? You what? Okay, we'll come in here. Pivoting for summer. Why is this a topic? Well, because we have more people home. I don't know about you guys, but in the last week, I've done more dishes. I've cooked more food. I've done more laundry. Everything has multiplied because there are more people in my home. Okay, I've had to give more attention, made more snacks, all the things. All right, so basically the reason we are, also the other thing too is, and we were just kind of talking about this, you guys, there's more activities happening. Like there's more travel happening, vacations, like her gymnastics schedule went from 2 days to 4 days. Okay. I mean, Emerson's home double the time. Like there's just so many so many changes, and a lot of them are great, right? Like I'm so excited she's home. I've missed her all year and not being able to pull her out when I want, but it's an adjustment. Okay. And so basically what tonight is about is if you don't prioritize your business or your non-negotiables, your daily, 6 list, whatever you want to call it, your hard work from the spring, because we know we've been sprinting pretty consistently all spring, your hard work from the spring, you're going to look up at the end of the summer and it's going to have kind of slipped away. I don't know, died out, momentum died out, whatever you want to call it. And you will not set yourself up for success in the fall. Okay. So you just have to be very careful in the summer, in between that bridge from spring to fall, which are, I think really like are two of our busier times, is what you do in the summer. It really matters. So, and I'm going to kind of start with just like a few things that I wrote down. And then what I did is I asked all of our leaders who have children that are home, like what they're doing differently. Give us some tips, give us some tricks. How has your schedule changed? How are you working your business differently? Whatever. So the whole thing is you have to be disciplined and intentional more than ever right now. Yes. Okay. Even when you don't want to, right? Those are muscles that we have to work out. And now is the time that you have got to work them. Palmer, if you want to stay in here, that's totally fine. But I can't.
Look at her.
Okay. I'm like, I don't have ADD, but I do right now, apparently. Or I don't think I do. Maybe I do. All right. So they're muscles. All right, you guys, you have to work them when you don't want to. Right now is the most important time to work those muscles out. So being intentional, being organized, making sure that you schedule those work times into your, or scheduling work time into your schedule. Okay. So what I have been doing, and these are just a few of my tips and tricks. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of the same thing is, but what I have been doing is I love to time block. Okay. I like to time block. And so what I do is, like, you can see, I mean, kind of like right here. Oh, this is not today, but like, so today right here is like, I time block everything out. So like from this time to this time is work time. And then I write a list of everything I need to do. As far as like leadership, obviously I have my KPI list that, like, I don't write that down every day, but like, you know, today I needed to make sure I had the graphic posted. I needed to make sure I moved 2 LCs, like some things that are outside my daily non-negotiables. And I write down what I need to do. And then right next to it, I write down what my kid's going to do. Okay. She has options. She can do like 2 or 3 things during that time. It's not screen time for her. It's not a free for all for her to watch like 3 movies. And basically, the conversation she and I have already had is like, hey, when I'm working, like, these are the things you're going to do. You do them for X amount of time, but she understands why during that time I'm working, why we're not going to play, why I'm not going to fix 13 snacks, all those things. So it's really important, you guys, to time block, or like to write it into your schedule, and then to have that conversation with whoever may be a distraction. Okay. It might be your significant other. I don't know. It could, I mean, obviously, can't have a conversation with your animals if you're a dog mom, but I guess you can, but I don't know if they're going to, I mean, I don't know if they're going to respond or get it, but you could, if they are, that's great. So making sure you schedule that work time and literally write it down, you guys, because when you write something down, you know, I can't talk to my 2-year-old either, Danny. That's why she's still in daycare part-time. When you write something down, it's like, I wrote down that I have physical therapy on Wednesday at 8:45. Y'all, that is, I'm not going to miss that. That's on my calendar. That is an appointment. I won't miss that. You will be so much more likely to take that work time serious if you schedule it into your, even if it's at 9:15, if you're like, Stormy, I feel stupid writing 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. work time. No, don't. There is something in your brain that clicks about it. You know, like it, because you made the decision. That's what it is it clicks. Like, when I lay my clothes out to get up at 5 a.m., I am so much more likely to, it doesn't make any sense, y'all. It doesn't take me 2 seconds to pick out workout clothes, especially at 5 a.m. in the dark, nobody's seeing me. But I make that decision in my brain. So when you write that down, you're making that decision and telling yourself like, okay, this is when I'm working. It could even be like, if you get up, if you're an early riser, if I don't work out, I write 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. workout. Then I write 6:30 to 8:30 mom time. And like, I write that, and it doesn't make any sense, because why do I need to write down being a mom? Because that's just how my brain views it. Okay. It's able to switch from one task to the other when I've already made those decisions. The other thing is, and then I'm going to let our leaders start talking, is your daily non-negotiables, your 6 list, whatever that is, it has to be set now more than ever, when you're busy, when things are throwing you off, when, you know, things are coming at you that you're not normally used to. You have to make sure that's set, because there's going to be days that you want to be able to make, here's the bottom line. You want to be able to make sure, even though you might be like, oh my God, I worked like 20 times in 3-minute increments a day. It doesn't matter. Did you get that list done? Because if you did, you can lay your head down at the end of the day and say like, yeah, I mean, I got it done, even though you may not feel real efficient that day, right? Because you were literally doing it like in the car, waiting in the drive-through line, or you know, while you were, you know, cutting up a cheese stick or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Did you get it done? And you know, if you check those things off, then you can lay your head down and be like, you know, I really didn't feel that productive, but I did. I mean, you know, and I also think that that is something as women we need, because we are hard on ourselves, you guys. Like, I will lay down and be like, man, I didn't do hardly anything today. And my husband will be like, you did 3 loads of laundry, you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll name everything I did. Like on a Saturday, you planted the flower garden, you pulled the, and I'm like, I did do a lot, didn't I? But as women, we never think we do enough. And that is why it's so important that you set those expectations for yourself, and then you stick to them. And so that you can be okay with the work you've done. All right. If you have more time and you want to do more, great, do it. But if you just get through those non-negotiables, that's okay, because that's your measure of success. And the other thing is, you have to remember that your measure of success looks different than somebody else's. Okay. I don't know if she's on, but like I was talking to a girl and I'm like, you have somebody on our team on a coaching call. I'm like, I don't see her. I was trying to see if she's on, but I'm like, your measure of success looks very different than somebody else's. You have 6 children. That's not the same as somebody with 2 or 0. Okay. Like you have to, and I'm not saying do like, the bare minimum if that's what you want to do or don't want to do. Will you please remove yourself from my area? There is an entire playroom. Go. But just remember that everybody's measure of success looks differently. And once you set that, in order to decide like if this is working or not, do it consistently for 30, 60 days. Look at your enrollments, look at your paycheck, look at your volume. Do you like the results? If you don't, then you need to change something. Okay. If you're happy with it, then those are working for you. So if you don't have anything like a 6 list, there's tons on our team page, like 4, but Taylor Kaufman, who does the gold diggers, I know she's got a book she's doing that's like got a checklist and leads and all that, and she's selling them, like she's printing them up and selling them, kind of like something like me and Gina did. But there's plenty on our team page. You can stick them in your notes, you can write them down and laminate it so you can erase it every day. Whatever works for you, do that. Okay. All right, Brooke, now I'm going to roll into our leaders and they are going to give you their tips and tricks. Mine was, again, get your non-negotiables in order, stay organized, and schedule your work time.
Yeah, my time is my biggest thing right now, because not only do I have 2 kids home all day, every day, but I also work from home. I still work full time. So trying to get everything in. The one child's not really an issue. He pretty much, he's got an Xbox, he's fine.
Stop.
But then the younger one needs more attention. It's not as easy to, I'm not saying anything bad, chill. She just wants more attention. You know what I mean? She wants to sit next to me while I'm working and mom, 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 mom. So what I've started doing is in the morning, like I'll normally start work about 8. I've been getting up at 7:15, and I'll sit at my desk, like my full-time job desk, but I'll work for 45 minutes before I start working. And then if I take a break for lunch, then that'll be my time to like check host to post, see, if anybody's gotten my message, kind of check my messages and check in with what I did, at 7:15 in the morning. And then at nighttime, normally our Zooms usually start at 8:30. So that's, Natalie went to bed at 8:30. And so I was good. Well, now we don't have bedtimes. And so,
Because there's no school.
so she's hanging out with me at 8:30. So she kind of knows once like 9:30 rolls around, that's when we're going to sit down and relax. That's when I start working. And then I normally get on our late night Zoom at like between 10 and 10:30. And I'll do that usually until around 12. I mean, I think we got off Zoom at like 12 last night and I stayed and worked until 1:00 this morning. But it's just, that's like the time that I have multiple hours that are uninterrupted, which not everybody wants to be up till 1:00 in the morning, but it's kind of whatever. If you're somebody that needs 8 hours of sleep, you can't do that. You're going to have to move yours up an hour or 2. I can typically, function on like 6.5. So if I go to bed at 1:00 and get up at 7:30, then I'm still good. Or if I go to bed at 12:30 and get up at 12:15, whatever, but I just make sure that I have 45 minutes in the morning. And then on my lunch break, or even if there's a point in my day, like my work day, that I don't have a whole lot going on, that I have 10 minutes, I'll check my phone whenever I can. When I get off work at 5:30 or whatever, 5:00, that's when we go outside and play or do whatever. And I bring my phone out there with me. So if Natalie's riding her bike up and down the street, I'm not riding my bike. So I'll pull out my phone and check my messages. It's just like that 5-10 minutes here and there that your kids are occupied, you're not eating, you're not working, you can pull out your phone and look at it. But to me, it's just really important that I have that 45 minutes in the morning and then I have a couple hours at night. That way I know that, I get a good, 3 hours a day, probably uninterrupted if I wanted it to be, that I can work. And so I think it's just, I feel like you have to have at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, in order to get everything done and to really be able to check on everything, you know, check on all your host to post, check on all your messages. And I feel like uninterrupted time is the most important. So I think it's just about forcing yourself to schedule that time and to stick to it. Because it is super, super easy, especially right now, to get out of that habit. And there's always a reason, you know, the kids are not going anywhere. You know, my job's not going anywhere. My kids aren't going anywhere. So if I don't make that an intentional, you have to be very intentional. If I don't make it like that, then I'll never get any work done. And I lost Diamond last month by a lot. I mean, it made me physically ill. And so this month I was like, no, I'm getting my Diamond back. There's no other option. So when my alarm goes off at 7 o'clock, it's like, okay, you have to get your Diamond back, get out of bed. And, you know, they sleep until like, nah, she didn't get up till 10:30 this morning. So it was, you know, I could actually like get some work done. But if I want to hit that goal again, like I have to get my ass out of bed, you know? I mean, it's just team no sleep. Like you do what you have to do. But I really think that you have to have that focused, intentional time blocked out, because you won't get anything done if you don't. I mean, and I don't even work off of like a 6 list. I literally focus my day on host to post, because number one, that's the only way I'm going to get any more than 5 up. And while you're getting those up, you're going to be interacting. You're going to be adding to your network. You're going to be, so for me, like if I don't focus on host to post, they're not going to get up. So that is my number one focus I do throughout the day, and everything else just kind of falls into place. But I feel like you just have to find at least like 2 hours uninterrupted. That is intentional work time, like not scrolling, not TikTok, but like intentional message, income producing activity time. And if my phone's jumping up and down, it's because this is not uninterrupted time. This is crawl all over me time. So that's it.
No, and I like for those of y'all that do like to have like a set like couple hours, like, cause I'm like Palmer. No, I know. Because I'm like that. I would rather knock it out in a couple hours. I mean, I can work it like that if I need to, but then you're just playing defense all day. You know what I'm saying? So like waking up at 5, getting it done by 7:30, you know, you're playing defense all day, or doing it from 9 to 11. And then you wake up, you're playing defense until you pick it up again. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I like that. That's the number one reason I like to do it like that too.
Well, I feel like even if you have a little bit of time in the morning, then it's like you've started your day that way. And so you're reacting the rest of the day. You know what I mean? People are answering you. And so you feel like it's actually productive. You know, it's not just looking for something to do, but you're responding and you're actually doing productive work.
I agree. Okay, Tiffany, you are next. Where's Tiffany? Where's she at? Let's see. No, Tiffany? Okay. That's weird. Maybe she messaged me. Okay. Monique.
All right. So I think a lot of us probably have a lot of the same type of what we're doing right now. Right now, I have one kid in summer school that starts at 7:30 in the morning, finishes at 11. One kid that's home, that's always saying she's bored. And one, I have to pick up my niece, who's still in school because they don't get out until Friday. So I still have to go pick. So my schedule is very, very weird, crazy, kind of hectic right now. But what I started this morning, since the youngest one just started summer school today, was basically I have everything written down. Everything is like Stormy had stated, schedule. I know my alarm goes off like at 5:30 in the morning. I'm on a 5:30 to 6:30 Zoom. I am from that Zoom. I have to get the little one dressed to go to school and apparently I have to take her to school earlier than I thought, just because the lines are so long. But while I'm waiting in the parking lot, like Brooke says, you know, we have our phone. That's the beauty of our business. While I'm waiting, I'm start doing some more work. So basically I have, my alarm is going, my phone, I have everything set for an alarm. It's been like that. And all I've done now is change it up a little bit since my schedule has changed. So it's like even my oldest one, she's like, oh, what's that alarm for? Oh, is that for us to go pick up Madison, go pick up her cousin? Is that, oh, is that one is to go pick up, so then she was like, what is that one for? And I'm like, oh, that was like my lunch. I literally have my phone is going off almost like every hour, hour and a half, depending on what I have scheduled. And when I'm working, like Brooke has stated, everything is with intent. You can't, it's not to be scrolling. When I catch myself doing that, I literally get up, go use the restroom, kind of just clear my head, because that means I need to break the pattern. So it's like you got to get up, move around, do something different. So when you sit back down, you're back working with intent. When I work with intent, and I realize so much more gets done and accomplished today. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be a little bit more hectic, and I felt so much accomplished today than I've felt in a long time. But it goes back with scheduling everything, staying on schedule. If you didn't finish whatever you were supposed, you're going to have to figure out how to get back to that. Now it's time to move on to the next. But definitely waking up earlier, but put them to bed and then be able to work before I go to bed tonight. But like I stated, if I don't put them to, if I don't literally lay in the bed next to my youngest one, she'll be up all night. She will be up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning watching TV. Oh, I want a snack. I want some cookies now, and all of the above. So I have to lay down next to her, put her to sleep. Sometimes she puts me to sleep, and that's when I have to get up and refocus to get myself back. But basically my philosophy is just, you have your schedule, just do it. Don't stop, finish what you got to finish. And what I did today was I had reached out to one of my friends that's a DT on another leg, not even down on Ashley's downline. And I'm like, okay, so you're gonna be definitely, I got a screenshot, and if I don't screenshot, you could just keep texting me tonight. I gotta get up my host of hosts. So she's gonna be my accountability partner in regards to what I say I need done for as the days go by and the weeks go by, to keep me kind of staying focused on what I'm doing. So that's it.
I love that you got yourself an accountability partner. That is a great idea. If you do that, make sure it's somebody who will not let you slack, guys. Okay, Elena, you're next, Elena.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Okay, so my schedule is also a little bit crazy. I have a stepson, bonus son, whatever you want to say. I have him all summer. We got him last week. So I have 3 kids, and my husband is still in Georgia. And today they told us that his next job will be in Charleston. So that's a whole nother topic. So right now I started a KPI Zoom, kind of what we did last fall whenever I was pushing for Diamond, and then it kind of went into the holidays to kind of be also accountability. And then after the holidays, it just kind of fell off. And so I knew I just needed to get back to that. So I started that 3 weeks ago. And it just makes me feel that I'm doing my best at the beginning of the day, to start that. I've also have that redid a schedule like that, like a time block, what Stormy was saying. And so My oldest is still in school, so she is not out until June 16th. But then now I have two little ones at home. So before, Olivia is pretty good. Right now I have, so Thomas is 5, Olivia is 3, and my oldest is 8. So kind of I do my work really during the day, even though they're here and we're still doing, they're hanging out, but I had to do that time block like that because, I mean, they also want all the snacks and all the things. And I feel bad because I don't want them to be on tablets and phones all day either. So I have that written down, but my schedule is going to be completely different probably at the end of June. We will probably be living in a hotel with my husband in Charleston, so we can hang out with him and be with him. So that'll be at the end of June and all of July. But I do know for sure that I'm still going to make the effort of starting my day as that KPI Zoom that I have. So that's 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. But whenever Anderson is out of school next week, I will stay on a little bit longer because I don't need to get off and get her ready to school. So that will probably be more like a 2-hour thing. So I know I'll have that done for the morning. And basically kind of what Brooke said, like I have on the graphic itself, I made like a time block. That way you can utilize that throughout your day. So if you cannot get on and you're sitting down to work at 1 p.m., that's my personal things, what I do. And that's why I put them on that graphic. So those are, I guess, my 6, well, it's not even a 6, it's like a 4 list, a core 4 maybe. But really, if you focus on your HAPs, then all the rest of the things just kind of fall into place. So that, and then of course, self-development. So those are my 2 main things. And so adding to stories and posting those things are super easy. Like I don't even have to think really to do those. Those are just literally clicks of a button. I mean, I really don't even write any of my posts. Literally, I just grab inspiration from others and I just kind of change some wording and obviously put my own pictures. Like I don't spend a lot of time doing that because I feel like unnecessary because my hosted posts are so much more valuable and my time, I need to pay attention to that so much more. So kind of like what Brooke said, like that's really more of my focus. So, but that's it. I mean, writing the time block, doing that time block schedule like that and making sure that that's my accountability. I put that so I can know that whatever my schedule looks like for the rest of the summer, at least I know for sure I'm going to be up at 7, well, my time, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30. That is like for sure my work time and that nothing's going to get me out of that for the rest of the summer, probably forever now, because it just makes you feel so much better when you wake up, you do those things first, and you know that sets you up for the day and everything else starts rolling in. The HAP start saying yes, and then people start responding to your one-day follow-ups, that kind of stuff. So that's it.
I agree. If you cannot do all the things on your HAP list, on your 6 list, doing HAPs is the quickest way to get through the most and get the most bang for your buck. Sorry, these Paw Patrol vehicles over here. This tiny blonde human are about to wear me out. All right. Elise, I was like, where's she at?
Hey, so I have 4 kids. They're 9, 7, 5, and 1, and they're literally my buck 24/7. So finding the time to do absolutely anything is at night for me. They can stay up with me at night too, but kind of send them to their room at night. That just be my time. During the day is so chaotic that I cannot find the time to do a whole lot. But when I do, it's like I send out a couple messages at a time, or ask for host to post, or like something simple. But yeah, trying to do any work like in the middle of the day is kind of challenging. Um, so I mainly just stay up like late nights and try to do as much work as possible. Um, yeah, but my husband travels, so we travel with him, and like she was talking about, we travel a lot, so we end up staying in the camper, and just traveling back and forth is, very stressful too. So I think I do more of my work at night than during the day. And this is all I have to do in the kids. It's just what works for me.
I would imagine that that would be the time that you would get the most peace and quiet, and what works for you too. I'm like, I can see that, and I only have two. Yeah, you're like, here's one of them. Oh my gosh, you're surrounded. That's so cute. All right, Britt Morton, you are up.
Hi. So, I'm at home with two kids, and I know my schedule's a little different and it's always changing. But my older son, he is just turned 6, and he's still in school. They get out next week. And luckily, we have him going to summer camp, so he will be busy during the day and at least get some activity out. He is super hyper and needs attention all the time. So, and I work during the day from home still mostly, and then going into work occasionally. And then I have my almost 1-year-old little girl, and so she's at home with us, and luckily my husband's around and he helps take her. And while I'm working or have to be on meetings and have to hide from her so she doesn't find me. And then once my son's home, it's one person has to have one kid. It's kind of a tag team. So to say the least, I don't have much time during the day to get much work done. So I really make it a point I try to get up before any of the kids wake up. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes the baby beats me and she wakes up. She's not real consistent. She's between 5:30 to 6 every day. So if I can even get up 10 minutes before her and at least get my coffee, get my post and the story up, just so that way I have something up first thing. I always like to make sure I have something up first thing in the morning. That way everyone getting ready for work sees, a post or a story up. And then during the day, I just kind of react to messages. Basically, I just answer messages as they come in, do what I can. And then I just expect to not get anything done. Really, I just plan on during the day. I'm not really working. And then if I can get some things done, it's a bonus. And then I just really make sure in the evenings to get my work done, check all my apps, get new apps up, and they go to bed. I typically are asleep by 8 o'clock, so I can get a good couple of hours in, after getting everything settled for the night. So that's kind of how I work things, is just making sure I stay really consistent with getting work in when I can and not setting my expectations too high and not feeling bad about not getting work done during the day, because everyone's schedule is different. If you can't get to it, you can't get to it, and just making sure you set priorities for doing the work that you need to get done.
You reminded me when you said that was something that, and I don't, again, I can't tell you what works for everybody, but normally during the year, like I try to be pretty present in the evenings and make sure that I'm like we're tag teaming. But right now with the kids home and Jared's work the way it is, like he knows that he's going to have to step up to the plate more in the evenings, because I step up to the plate all day, right? Like he's on conference calls and he's on work calls, and that's fine. I'll handle it during the day, but like in the evening, sometimes I'm like, no, you're putting them both to bed. I have to get this done, or I have to finish this, because I've been doing it all day. So you reminded me of that, so sometimes you might have to have that conversation with your significant other, like, hey, this is your time now, this is my time. Because again, I totally understand why when he's interviewing somebody, he can't have our two kids running around, but at the same time, I got to get my stuff done too, you know? So a little bit of give and take. I just thought of that, you know, that we've had that conversation. Okay, Jamie and Gina, and then we are done.
Okay, I'm gonna make mine super, super quick because we are already at 9:30. But I have 4 things. One, they talked about having a calendar. You have to have a calendar, sit down, take the 30 minutes, organize your life, figure out all the summer camps, figure out all, like Monique was talking about, like she's got summer school and camp and got to pick up this niece at this time. Figure it out, put it on a calendar. Y'all, like I have a gigantic calendar. If you notice, there's literally something every stinking day. Normally there are multiple things every single day. And this is not my It Works calendar. This is my real life calendar. This is my doctor's appointment and my camps and my cheerleading and soccer practice and fun things that I schedule with my kids, because here's the deal. Mine are a little bit older, 5 and 8. They still need mom's attention, especially right now. We have a lot of fun things planned in summer, but those are a reward. I earned this lifestyle. I earned the right to be home with them by working my butt off and showing up for my business and prioritizing it. So I made a calendar with them also saying, hey, these things have to be taken care of, and we're going to make a list of all these fun things. We're going to put them on the calendar. And as long as everybody's taking care of their stuff, we can go do those fun things, right? So you have to get a calendar. My third thing says bedtimes and maintain a schedule. Yes, my kids are all still up. It's 9:30. Yes, bedtimes are going to be later, but you still have to have a schedule. My kids know in the morning their beds have to be made, their teeth have to be brushed, they have to help with something around the house. I'll share my little list in the chat if y'all want it. But like I made a cute little thing. I'm like, before they can have tablet time or before we can do any of this fun stuff, like they have like 6 or 10 things that they have to get done every single day. They have to get a chore done around the house like every single day. And I made that walking into the summer. I'm not good with that kind of stuff with them because I am a let's go have fun kind of mom. But I knew I take my business seriously. You have to decide to take your business seriously. And I knew that if I wanted to do that, that I was also going to have to take their schedule very seriously, because it is going to have to be a balancing act. You're going to have to say, okay, while you get your things done, I'm going to get my things done and go and do those things. Right. They've all talked about it. If you get your host to post done, if that's what your focus is for the day, interaction, growing your network, all of that kind of fun stuff is going to take care of itself. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but if you find yourself, actually, this is my, like, these are 2 of my points together. If you find yourself feeling like you're not getting your what KPI done, I'm like, it's not a 10 list, but like the long list of stuff done every single day. If you find yourself not getting that done, take it back to the basics. Core 4, post, message, follow up, hack your face off. That's it. If you're doing those 4 things every single day, do not make a TikTok, do not create a new story, do not whatever. And that's my last there. That's one of my other little notes that I have written. Talking about having, intentional time. Focus more, especially in these summer months, if you feel like your time is strained or if you feel like you're not finishing your KPI list every day. Take a look at what you're spending your time on, because what I notice is the creative outlets for me, the over pictures and the creating stories and going live, or the part of the reason I haven't dove into TikTok all the way, because it's a time suck and that's not what brings in the customers. So look at your thing. What are your output, like your messages that you're getting out, your host to post that you're getting up, all of that stuff. Look at that stuff versus, I called it content creation, whether it's Instagram or what, like taking 2 hours to write a post because you have writer's block. Me and Danny talked about that the other day. Elena's like, no, I just borrow inspiration. I'm like, you can't spend 2 hours. If you have a crazy ass 2-year-old that needs mom 24/7, you cannot spend 30 minutes writing a post. You're going to have to borrow somebody else's inspiration and move on with your day and like call it good. So there's that. I wrote bedtimes, maintain some sort of schedule, which I kind of already talked about. And then the last thing that I'm going to say, which is going to sound weird coming from my mouth because I'm team no sleep, night owl of all night owls. You cannot pick up your business for the first time after your kids go to sleep. You cannot. You cannot be just reactive during the day. You've got to start it off, whether it's a morning power hour or a lunchtime power hour or something where you are getting your output done before 5 o'clock in the evening. Because if you're sending your first messages, follow-ups, HAP requests at 9 o'clock at night, when your kids go down, your business has gone untouched for 20 hours. You're going to sleep for whatever. And you might wake up to messages. You for sure will. Like I do that all the time. But if you're not retouching them and you're being reactive all day during the day, you cannot do that for your business. Your business will tank. Or not tank. It'll slow. You've got to touch your business before the end of the night, before the kids get down. So we are all in the same boat. I feel like every person on here has a crazy schedule. You just have to take ownership of the schedule and decide that you are going to, one, expect to win the day. You are going to expect that whatever output you're doing is going to be fruitful and that God is going to reward your hard work. You have to expect that. You have to. Your mindset has to be expectant. And then two, you have to take control of it. You have to decide that you are going to work your business in the morning and that you are going to commit to an hour late, or you are going to give up your lunch to go and have lunch with your kids every single day because they're home for the summer and you're working from home. Great. Give up that hour, devote it to them, leave your phone in the other room. When I'm at Hawaiian Falls or friggin' Perot Museum or Urban Air or whatever, well, maybe not Urban Air, they go and go crazy. I'll probably work the whole time. But like when you're a mom, be a mom, or when you're at work, be at work. And then when you're not, be so intentional with that other time too. So that's my things. I wrote calendar, core 4, bedtimes, maintain schedule, content creation versus actual output, and can't do just nights. You've got to work. You've got to touch your business before your kids go to bed.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I have 2 short things. One, set an alarm. I don't care what time your kids have to be up. You need to set up alarm way before they do. And you need to work your business first thing in the morning. You're fresh, you have fresh eyes, you can get things done, you can think about things, and you can knock some stuff out first thing in the morning. And that requires to set an alarm and get up. Second thing is, I'm a big component on eating your frog. So if you've not read the book by Brian Tracy, it's free. It's all over YouTube. Just listen to it. But it talks about how do you eat a frog? Well, you have to do the worst thing that you want to do for the day for your business. So like the hardest thing that you think about, which for me personally is host to post. I don't know. I just like get sweaty in my armpits when I think about host to post. So that's what I do. I ask people to host a post for me every day. And I know if that's the only thing that I get done for the day, then I know that I've been successful with my business that day. So eat your frog, figure it out, and set an alarm.
Y'all, hold on. I want to say one more thing. I'm so sorry. I got one more thing. So I wrote all my notes on my little organizer calendar thing that I have. It's just literally to-do list. And I didn't write to-do list because it's on my to-do list. So you can see where that would be tricky, right? But make a dang to-do list every single night or first thing in the morning. This one says must get done. It only has 3 things because you can't do it all. We're not superwoman as much as we try. Must get done. Put your appointments on here, notes or doodles. And then there's a 10 to-do list, water intake, what you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if you meal plan or whatever. But like, it doesn't have to be this fancy. Like, get a notebook, make a freaking to-do list so that you know when you do have those 5 minutes of time, that is something that those 5 minutes fall away so as fast as they come, especially if you've got little ones at home. You've got to be intentional. You've got to be like, oh yeah, I've got to get some laundry done today. Oh yeah, we have got to da-da-da. Oh yeah, I need to get blah, blah, blah. And I put my core 4 on there every single day so that those are on my to-do list. Anyway, so that's it. Get a to-do list.
Yep, I have to-do lists on to-do lists. I'm like everywhere. But yeah, at the bottom of my daily planner, it says priorities. And like, I know if I have to get some, like if that is the deadline, then it goes on the priorities and I start down there first, whether it's work or house. Because sometimes you got house stuff you got to take care of or home stuff. But okay, we are done right at an hour. finishing up, and thank you guys so much for hopping on. I know y'all probably heard a lot of the same tips and tricks, but that's